Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Football Fallout. It's where I watch every single play of every single game of every single week, trying to find you the fantasy football knowledge that nobody else can provide. Because hey, let's face it, nobody else is watching all the games. Usually people are looking at all the stat lines and the NFL game books and all that stuff. I watch the tape. So let's just dig right in. Today I'm going to be talking about Indianapolis, the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans division matchup. Big game. And it was interesting because actually the Colts came in as 3-point underdogs in this game. And I had a feeling about the Colts because when I saw them play the Chargers, I thought, man, Jacoby Brissett, he looks pretty good. I think, the time where he was basically studying behind Andrew Luck, his year with Frank Reich in this system, I thought it might serve him well. And I got to say, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Jacoby Brissett, man. I really, really am. I did an episode of something we call the 3-point stance. It's also on this channel that said, hey, maybe long term, maybe the Colts can be better off with Jacoby Brissett. Lower cost guy, not paying, $35 to $40 million a year for Andrew Luck or whatever it was. Do I think they're a better team today than they would have been with Andrew Luck? No. But I do think that they are absolutely a playoff caliber team. I think this season what it does is it probably takes them out of maybe a Super Bowl contender type thing. But from what we're seeing from New England and Kansas City, they probably weren't going to be on that echelon this year anyway. And let's face it, anything can happen, as we've seen with Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger both getting hurt this week. So you never know what's going to happen, but Indianapolis is definitely in the thick of things this season, and that division win, that's a big one for them. I think everybody in that division now is 1-1 except for Jacksonville. So it's going to be a good one. But Jacoby Brissett, 3 touchdowns, an interception. I got to say, he almost looks like, standing in the pocket, big dude, kind of pocket passing presence, escapability. I got to say, maybe he looks like a young but more accurate Cam Newton. I don't really know. I mean, I haven't really seen. He's so big and he's got escapability. He looks really good. Maybe a taller, more decisive and more accurate version of younger Dak Prescott. Maybe more like a today Dak Prescott. It can be really good, Colts and Colts fans. I like Brissett quite a bit. If you need a quarterback in fantasy and he's still out there, I think he is definitely worth a waiver claim. This offense is very, very talented. Even with Devin Funchess going on injured reserve, you have a guy like Paris Campbell who got a touchdown this week, step up. You have Rodgers stepping up at wide receiver. T.Y. Hilton is still doing just fine. Marlon Mack didn't get a lot of yards last week. He had 174 yards. This week, I think it was like 51, somewhere close to there. Well, look, the Titans' defense is very good, so don't read too much into that. Yes, I saw Wilkins got some carries. Don't worry about that. Marlon Mack will be just fine. Hold on to him. He's going to be the Marlon Mack that we're going to see this season. It's going to be more like what we saw last week against the Chargers than what we saw this week against the Titans. Ebron got back in the end zone. I said last week, let's be patient. They're going to still be looking for him on the goal line. Now that Funchess is gone, I got to say they're still going to be looking. He should have gotten a touchdown reception last week. He got one this week. He could be up to 2 touchdowns in 2 games. I think he's definitely going to be viable. This offense moving forward, I like Paris Campbell to get more looks as the season progresses. I was glad to see him get in the end zone this week. I don't think that Rodgers, we've seen him in years past. I don't really think that he's going to be there. I like Deion Kane. There's a lot to like in this Rams team, man. They're stocked. And as long as Jacoby Brissett, honestly, he could be a game manager and this team would be tough to beat. But I think he is already more than just a game manager. So again, if you're a Colts fan, a lot to be excited about there. Tennessee, hey, look, this will happen sometimes. Mariota didn't have a great game. I think he was well under 200 yards, 1 touchdown. That's not going to really get it done. Derrick Henry looked fantastic, well over 5 yards a carry in this game. This is going to be a team that can run the ball. The problem is I think this is a close game. As well as Derrick Henry is running, he only got 15 carries. I think he needs to get more than that. And that's by virtue, too, of them not having a lot of plays in this game. But again, kind of ride Derrick Henry a little bit more, and I think that they will. This is a team that is going to ride Derrick Henry, so I'm not concerned about that. Receiving-wise, I said it last week, I'll say it again. Delanie Walker, Marcus Mariota loves this guy. Led the team in reception or targets again. Then you have A.J. Brown, the rookie. You have Corey Davis. Both got reasonable targets. I think it was 5 or 6 apiece for both of them. In weeks where they're not scoring a lot, Mariota's not going to throw the ball, get a lot of completions, and so those guys aren't going to get a ton of yards. In games like we saw against Cleveland last week, where they put up a lot of points, Delaney Walker gets 2 touchdowns. A.J. Brown pops off and looks really good in his debut. Well, look, what it means is A.J. Brown's probably going to find the waivers this week if he wasn't already on your waivers. He's somebody that should be on your watch list. I wouldn't pick him up. He's somebody that if there's a favorable matchup for this offense against a defense, he's somebody I'd pick up and start. Corey Davis, I think he'll be fine. If you own him, be patient. Maybe don't start him at this point. Maybe he's your top bench player. Maybe he's like your bottom flex player. You need this offense to kind of coalesce a little bit. Remember, this is a new play caller. Their previous offensive coordinator is now the head coach in Green Bay. So that's going to take some time. But this offense, I do like it. I like both of these teams. I do tend to like Indianapolis a little bit more because I just like what Brissett's doing, and this team is loaded. And they made some investments on defense. It is a little bit of a shame that we don't get to see what Andrew Luck could have done with this team, but with his injury history, there's a chance that we wouldn't have seen it anyway. So Jacoby Brissett, I'm a believer. Titans, I'm actually believers in you guys as well. There's a lot of good teams, and this AFC is wide open for the playoff chase. I do think New England and Kansas City have separated themselves from the rest of the pack, but it's a long season. We're only 2 games in. Thanks for watching. This concludes kind of the episode. If you could, please support us. We're trying to get to our 1,000 subscribers. I'll have a link. You can always hit the red button on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. There's also going to be a logo in your top left side of your screen. Either one of those will take you to the subscribe. And we also, improve if we get more videos watched and more time within the videos watched. That always helps. So I have a playlist of all our fantasy football Fallout episodes from week 2, and I think even week 1 might be included in there as well. Always kind of nuggets and pearls of wisdom from what I'm seeing and guys pop off on tape. Like I said, I go deep every single week, every single game. I have that kind of time on my hands. Not everybody does. So try to check us out, help our channel grow. We appreciate it. If you comment, I will be interactive with you as well. So let's get it going, guys. Until then, let's have a great rest of the night, and hopefully you watch some more videos.